Hello everyone, welcome to LBS IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss economics MCQs based on previous year UPSC questions. So let's start our session. Our first question is,
which one of the following is likely to be the most inflationary in its effect? Options are repayment of public debt, borrowing from the public to finance a budget deficit, borrowing from the banks to finance a budget deficit, creating new money to finance a budget deficit. Here answer to this question is option D, because here question is asking the most inflationary in its effect. So the answer is creating new money to finance a budget deficit. Deficit financing means generating funds to finance the deficit, which results from excess of expenditure over revenue. Extremely high rates of inflation are generally associated with high rates of money growth. It is often the result of financing large deficits by printing money. So here answer is option D. Government expenditure by printing money boosts incomes and raises private demands in the economy. Thus it fuels inflation. A little increase in inflation is healthy as it encourages business activity. But if the government doesn't stop in time, more and more money floods to the market and creates high inflation. Printing new money to finance a budget deficit means there is no sufficient money in the market. So statement D is the correct option.
Next is,
with reference to Indian economy, demand pull inflation can be caused or increased by which of the following factors? Options are expansionary policies, fiscal stimulus, inflation indexing wages, higher purchasing power, and rising interest rates. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option A, 1, 2 and 4 are correct. That is, expansionary policies, fiscal stimulus and higher purchasing power causes demand pull inflation. Demand pull inflation is the upward pressure on prices that follows a shortage in supply, a condition that economists describe as too many dollars chasing too few goods. Expansionary policies causes demand pull inflation. When the government spends more freely, money in the market is increased. It leads to increased demand for goods and fuels demand pull inflation. Fiscal stimulus also causes demand pull inflation. It also increases the money in the market, leads to increased demand for the goods and fuels demand pull inflation. Higher purchasing power causes demand pull inflation. When consumers earn higher income, they feel confident and spend more. This leads to more demand and fuels demand pull inflation. Here, inflation indexing wages and rising interest rates do not increase or cause demand pull inflation. So her answer to this question is option A.
Next is, under the Kisan Credit Card Scheme, short-term credit support is given to farmers for which of the following purposes? Options are working capital for maintenance of farm assets, that is correct. Purchase of combine harvesters, tractors and mini trucks, that is incorrect. Consumption requirements of farm households, that is correct. Post-harvest expenses, that is correct. Construction of family house and setting up of village cold storage facility, that is incorrect. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option B. Statement 1, 3 and 4 are correct. The scheme was introduced for providing adequate and timely credit support from the banking system under a single window with a flexible and simplified procedure to the farmers for their cultivation and other needs like purchases of agriculture inputs such as seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. and draw cash for their production needs. Objective of Kisan Credit Card are to meet the short-term credit requirements for cultivation of crops, post-harvest expenses, produce marketing loan, consumption requirements of farmer households, working capital for maintenance of farm assets and activities, investment credit requirement for agriculture and allied activities. So her answer to this question is option B. Statement 1, 3 and 4 are correct. Next is, which one of the following factors or policies affecting the price of rice? Options are minimum support price, government trading, government stockpiling, consumer subsidies. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option D. Statement 1, 2, 3 and 4 are correct. The government's trading and MSP of rice results in diversion of stocks from the open market, hence driving up the price for ultimate consumers. Hence statement 1 and 2 are correct. In the government stockpiling, low stock level has the ability to buffer the price rise. Hence statement 3 is correct. Consumer subsidies lowers the prices for the ultimate consumers. Hence statement 4 is correct. Apart from this, climatic conditions, rice tenders by Food Corporation of India and other organizations, global tenders for procurements of rice, appreciation or depreciation of US dollar and Indian rupees, crude oil prices. All these factors will also affect the price of rice. So her answer to this question is option D. Next is consider the following statements. Statements are, most of India's external debt is owed by governmental entities. That is incorrect. All of India's external debt is denominated in US dollars. That is incorrect. Which of the statement given above is or are correct? The answer to this question is option D. Neither one nor two of the statements are correct. India's external debt at 624.7 billion US dollars as of March 2023 grew by 5.6 billion US dollars over 619.1 billion US dollars as at the end of March 2022, while 54.6% of it was denominated in US dollar. Indian rupee denominated debt estimated at 30% was the second largest. Here, US dollar denominated debt is the largest component of India's external debt, followed by Indian rupee, SDR, yen and euro. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Commercial borrowings, NRI deposits, short-term trade credit and multilateral loans together account for 90% of the total external debt. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. So, commercial borrowings continue to be the largest component of India's external debt, followed by NRI deposit and short-term credit. So, her answer to this question is option D. Next is consider the following statements. Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board is the first regulatory body set up by the Government of India. That is incorrect. One of the tasks of PNGRB is to ensure competitive markets for gas. That is correct. Appeals against the decisions of PNGRB go before the appellate tribunals for electricity. That is correct. Which of the statement given above are correct? Here, answer to this question is option B. Statement 2 and 3 are correct and statement 1 is incorrect. PNGRB was constituted under the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board Act 2006. The objective of PNGRB is to promote competitive markets and to protect the interest of consumers and entities engaged in specified activities relating to petroleum, petroleum products and natural gas. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India was established in 1997 and PNGRB established in 2006. Hence, statement 1 is incorrect. Appeals against the decisions of PNGRB go before the appellate tribunals for electricity. Hence, statement 3 is correct. So, her answer to this question is option B. Next is, which of the following is not a sub-index of World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index? Options are maintenance of law and order, paying taxes, registering property, dealing with construction permits. The answer to this question is option A, maintenance of law and order. Starting in business, paying taxes, property registration, dealing with construction permits, electricity availability, credit availability, protecting minority investors, trading across borders, contract enforcement and resolving insolvency are the 10 different parameters affecting ease of doing business index. So, her answer to this question is option A. Next is, in the context of any country, which one of the following would be considered as part of its social capital? Options are proportion of literates in the population, the stock of its building, other infrastructure and machines, the size of population in the working age group, the level of mutual trust and harmony in the society. The answer to this question is option D, the level of mutual trust and harmony in the society. Social capital is the interpersonal relations, social networks, shared sense of identity and trust within a society that can bring great benefit to people. So, her answer to this question is option D. Next is, in a given year in India, official poverty lines are higher in some states than in other states because options are poverty rates vary from state to state, price levels vary from state to state, gross state product varies from state to state, quality of public distribution varies from state to state. The answer to this question is option B, price levels vary from state to state. These poverty lines would vary from state to state because of the interstate price differentials. So, her answer to this question is option B.